Day 6. Give yourself a round of applause. You made it to day 6. If you're just joining us, this is day 6 in our Healing Together series. Just like the name suggests, we're healing together. Healing from avoidant discard, being dumped. Excuse me. Being dumped, discarded, blocked, ghosted. The pain. The pain is terrible, right? You're trying to just live your life. Everywhere you go, you're reminded, everything you look at, you're reminded about the pain. Oh, I put an announcement up that we're going to be doing this at 1 o'clock today. So, yeah. But yeah, the pain, it's just something we need relief from. And that's what this is all about. It's getting relief from the pain, being able to heal after a breakup. We've learned a lot of really good, useful techniques already by applying the 12 laws of healing. We've gone 1 through 5. And I'll just run through those really quickly just so we can be reminded of those, because most of us don't have the 12 laws memorized. Day number 1, law number 1, is always detach from what is toxic. That's going no contact. Law number 2, never think or act in fear. Always think and act in love. This helps us next time we're in the relationship to not do things that are anxious leaning, but instead to act only according to love, which is focusing on everything that is beneficial about a person and doing what's beneficial toward them. That means that we must also do that for ourselves, which ties in nicely with law number 4. Law number 3 is never become consumed with other people's thoughts, feelings, and actions. All that, what are they doing? Are they going to come back? Do they feel? Do they love me? None of that is healing us. We're giving our control, we're giving our power away to the other person. We're saying that we can't be stable unless we learn something from them. We need closure from them. It's being too consumed with other people's thoughts, feelings, and actions. It's not about when they're coming back and what they're going to do and if they're going to get it together and how do we help them heal. It's not about that. It's about you. You're a whole human. You need to ask yourself, are you going to get together with them if given the opportunity? Are you going to set the boundaries this time? Or are you going to go back in the same cycle? Are you going to change right now? Are you going to heal? That's what you want to focus on. Not being consumed with them. Focus on how you feel. You feel hurt right now. Think about that. Think about this pain. Pain is useless if you don't learn from it. Not everything that hurts us harms us. Pain is useless, if you don't learn from the pain. It's useless if you don't learn from the pain. It's useless if you don't learn from. So what is the lesson we should be learning from this pain that we're feeling? Some people jump to, I'm not going to trust anybody. Nope, that's not the lesson. You missed the lesson. What is the lesson we should learn from the pain we are feeling right now? What is the lesson we should learn? If we don't change, if we don't learn a lesson from the pain, you realize it was useless. Some people just become avoidant. Well, that was useless. Now you're just someone who hurts other people. You know what I mean? That's useless. You don't have the ability to connect. That's useless. Other people don't learn anything, and they just go right back into the exact same thing. So we need to learn lessons from this pain. We need to learn how to vet properly in relationships, how to not, in the future, invest too much up front. The problem is not that we loved, but we loved too much too fast. We should love, but if you invest too much too fast, that's not actually love, that's limerence. I'll give that to you again. If you invest too much too fast emotionally, that's not love, that's limerence. Because if you love a person before you find out what their flaws are, that's not love, that's limerence. How do you truly love a person and you don't know what their flaws are? Ma'ams, sirs, what were you doing? What were you thinking? You fell head over heels in love with a person and then you didn't even know they were an avoidant yet? You can't truly love them because you didn't know who they were. You didn't even know they were an avoidant because it was only 3 months in and you were already like, they're everything, they're my everything. What? You didn't have time. You didn't have time. So you learn the lesson. Next time I'm going to vet the person. I'm going to reserve some of these feelings, most of these feelings. I'm going to reserve them and just give a little bit more. Because as I give pain, that gives them more ability to hurt me. And it doesn't mean to give as I give love, that gives them the ability to give me more pain. It doesn't mean give no love. It just means just give a little bit at a time. A little bit at a time. Give yourself time to actually get to know what the flaws are. If you can't tell me what all their flaws are, it's not time to have feelings for them. Right off the bat, you have to stop right there and say, whoa, I am emotionally moving too fast. So you slow the feelings by not trying to focus on everything that's amazing about them, not idealizing them, not spending every waking moment talking to them, and not fantasizing about them. That's the number one thing that's creating so much feelings. You're fantasizing. You're spending all of your mental energy on an idealized version of the person. All of us have an idealized version of the person in the beginning. So you got to hold your horses and remember you don't know what the flaws are. And when I say flaws, I mean the things about them that would deeply destroy you. Because most people have things about them that are so rough, they will truly cause you pain once you actually experience those flaws. Most people have that much roughness to them. So you have to acknowledge that, right? So right off the bat, that should be the lesson you learn from the pain, is not to invest too much too fast. Law number 4 is always focus on and do what is beneficial for yourself and for the other person. Always focus on and do what is beneficial for yourself and for the other person. It's not beneficial to chase them, for instance. What's beneficial right now is for you to be in the gym. It's for you to work on your business. It's for you to work on your purpose. It's for you to work on your body. It's for you to work on your skincare. It's for you to work on your hair care. It's for you to help people who are aligned with your purpose right now, who haven't abandoned you. Always focus on and do what is beneficial. The focus should be not on I'll never love again. That's not beneficial. It should be on, I'm going to get hurt again. I'm going to love again and put myself out there again. So I need to be as prepared as possible. I want to be my best self. And then finally, day 5, we did always focus on your gifts and your blessings. Very similar to focusing on what's beneficial. We're focusing on what's already been received by us that is of benefit to us. Our gifts and our blessings. Our gifts and our blessings. What do you still have? We were focusing on our gifts and our blessings. That's why we felt healthy when we were in a relationship with them. We felt happy because we were focused on our gift. We're like, we have a man. We have a woman. We love them so much. We're focused on it. But then when they walked out of our life, instead of focusing on what we had, we started focusing on what we do not have. And then our happiness disappears. It's that simple. If you focus on what you do not have and cannot control, you will not be happy and you will be mentally ill. So we got to pry our eyes off of what we lost. We got to go here. What do I have? What do I have? What do I still have? What are you without that suit? Billionaire, playboy, genius, philanthropist. Okay, so what do we have? When we lost our girl, you should be able to name right off the bat that fast. What do you still have? When you lost that man, you should be able to name right off the bat, what your other blessings are. Otherwise, think about how that makes God feel. He's sitting there looking at you like, I blessed her, but she's acting like she has nothing now because that man left. And I was the one that wanted that man to leave because he's the spawn of Satan, and she doesn't even know. And she's sitting there crying over him. Think about how God feels. He blessed you with so much. So show that appreciation to be able to say, billionaire, genius, playboy, philanthropist, give me 4 things right off the bat that you still have, that you are blessed with, despite the fact that they're gone. Let's get the eyes off of them. Don't check the social media. Don't look for their text messages. Don't go over their house to see if their car is in the driveway. Don't tail them in the bars. Don't go look at your old pictures and old videos of them. Don't scroll through. Stop chasing them. You don't have them anymore. And really, we never had them, right? It's just 2 humans in an agreement. And then now they broke the agreement. They bounced on you, which means they're disloyal, which means they don't qualify. So let's focus on what we do have. Let's focus on what we do have. You ready for law number 6? We are here on day 6. We're going to get started with law number 6 today to help us with our healing and happiness. The first place we should always start is doing our devaluation list. So if you haven't already done your devaluation list today, go ahead. While I'm getting set up here, go ahead and get to getting. Okay, I'll let you do an abbreviated 6. This is what brings down all that pain, because it brings down all the love, which is a love for something now that's detrimental and toxic, which is a trauma bond. So we have to lessen the trauma bond. We break the trauma bond by rewiring the brain, by doing the devaluation list every day and every single time, which is multiple times a day, that we start to yearn for them. We reprogram ourselves to not think of them as being this idealized version. Do your devaluation list. Do it right now. Don't wait. What are you doing? I see some of you still not doing it. Like, what do you expect to happen? You think something magical is going to happen on the screen and I'm going to reach in and take your pain away? Mute the live and do your devaluation list. Write down on a piece of paper 6 reasons this time. I'll let you do a short one. 6 reasons why they don't qualify. 6 things you don't like about them. Go. I would like to invite some of you guys to write some of your reasons right here in the chat. Write 1 or 2 of your reasons why they don't qualify, and what you don't like about them right here in the chat. And that will help some of us to get some ideas for what we can put on our devaluation list. The person was selfish. Great reason they don't qualify. You can't be with a selfish person. Person had no accountability. Great reason they don't qualify. You can't be with someone who has no accountability. Person was inconsistent. Totally disqualified. You can't be with an inconsistent person. You needed consistency to build a life together. They were inconsiderate. Yeah. How about the lack of empathy? Yeah. They failed to prioritize your feelings and your needs. The person was emotionally distant and cold. How? How can you build a life? How can you have a life with a person who's emotionally distant and cold? Or who goes emotionally distant and cold on you? Didn't communicate. Yeah. Disqualified. Mean. Mean is cruelty. Cruelty is a disqualification. Automatic. Automatic disqualification. Disrespectful. Yeah. How are you going to build a life with someone who doesn't respect you? He doesn't like to talk about feelings. Yeah. How are you going to have a life with a man that won't talk about feelings? Feelings are important, bro. That was Kanye West. He said, feelings matter, bro. Feelings matter, bro. Yeah, they do matter. She never apologizes. Got to take accountability. How are we going to build a life together and trust each other? You don't take accountability. How are we going to work anything out? You don't take accountability. You don't ever apologize. That's crazy. Can't build a life with someone like that. They were calculated, even with friends. They were insecure. Can't handle a difficult conversation. They had secrets. Sarcastic. You should have 6 on your list by now. You should have 7 or 8. They didn't respect boundaries. Dishonesty. They didn't make time for the relationship. Yeah, good. So now you got your devaluation list. Take a deep breath. You are worthy of being treated better than that. You are worthy of a human who's actually qualified to be your forever mate. This person is not qualified to be your forever mate. I know they had good qualities that you liked. A lot of them, if we're really honest, were kind of shallow. I'm just gonna be straight up with you right off the bat. I'm not trying to roast you, but a lot of the reasons why you actually liked them were shallow. Oh, he was so good looking. He was so he was so handsome. It's a lot of shallow stuff. There was nothing he offered that can't be provided by another human. Okay? So let's stop idealizing this person like they are the one only man in the world that has those things. Yeah, biceps and a debit card, right? Lots of men got that. Lots of men got that. It's not that special. It seems special. I know. I understand. I have that too, right? I got ladies from my past where you try to look at someone new and you think, man, it's not as good as my ex. Something shallow that I liked about her, right? Relax. There are other women with that dark, rich skin that you like. Talking to myself. You got to relax. You got to relax. These are just physical traits. It's shallow, and it's not enough to bring you across the finish line of life with a partner. Yeah. This is not about skin color. It's preference. We have preferences, right? We have shallow preferences. And we're like, oh, I'm never going to find a man that's that tall. I'm never going to find a woman that's got those curves. I'm never going to find a man that, whatever, he's got something. He's got a full head of hair, whatever you liked. Right? Focus on the flaws of the person. And you'll realize they was just okay. The overall package was just okay. I'm not lying to you. They actually weren't as great as what you were trying to make them out to be. Law number 6, please write this down. Always accept the universe exactly as it is. Always accept the universe exactly as it is. That plays directly into what we're talking about. Always accept the universe exactly as it is. The reality of this person is not the same as your fantasy of the person. The reality of this person is that they are emotionally immature. If we're talking about an avoidant, for instance, the reality of this person is that they don't have the emotional capacity to handle feelings. It wasn't that you abused them and they couldn't handle it. It wasn't something serious and hard like disease. No, they didn't have the ability to handle feelings. Hormones in the body that come and go. They can't handle that. They can't handle thoughts. Oh no, my thoughts are too much. My feelings are too much. I guess I'll just hurt the one person who's been there for me. And I guess I'll abandon them. Let's look at reality exactly as it is. Let's see them exactly as they are. They're immature and disqualified. They're immature and disqualified. Let's see the universe exactly as it is instead of getting into and living in these fantasy ideas of what the person is and what the person was gonna be. Like, we love to look at the future. We write a positive future about them. You sit there and you go, he was gonna get his finances together and we were gonna live happily ever after and we were gonna move in together and we were gonna get married and he was gonna get rid of the other women in his life and he was gonna fix his hygiene problems and he was gonna be really good. And now that they're gone, suddenly you lost the ability to write good stories about the future. I'm never gonna find anyone as good as him again. I'm doomed. I'm too old. I'm too this. What happened? For him, you had all the gunners. And now you got all the not gunners for yourself. Let's slow it back and look at the world the way it really is. The reality is that you were chasing someone who was emotionally unavailable because you have trauma from your past, and you're partially avoidant. For some of you, that applies to you. You're partially avoidant, so that's why you wanted the man that already had a wife, that already had a girlfriend, that was already in jail, that lived long distance. Trauma survivors love getting in a long distance relationship because you feel kind of safe. Well, he's way over there. I don't have to really get into anything. So some of you here in the chat are avoidance yourself. Others of you are anxious yourself. So you never healed your attachment issues, and then you thought you were going to go out there and find someone who is going to fulfill what you need, but you don't feel what you need for yourself. You need validation. You thought a human was going to fill that for you instead of you giving yourself validation. You need love, and you thought another human was supposed to fill that for you instead of you giving yourself love. So let's be realistic. Let's see the world the way it really is. What happened wasn't fair. But understanding the world the way it really is, then you're not surprised when an injustice occurs. Because we live in an unjust world. That's understanding the universe based on what it really is, based on evidence. You see, when we're trauma survivors, we get trapped in pain because we wish reality was different. And as long as you stay there, I don't want to live in this reality. I wish we were together. I wish he didn't do this. I wish. Then you're slowing down your ability to heal. Healing is acceptance, recognizing the reality. I see we are not together. I see they don't want to do, they can't do, they're not capable, they aren't here. That's where the healing is. You have to keep exposing yourself to the healing. Keep exposing yourself to the reality until your body is able to cope with the reality. That's how you heal. But you're doing the I wish. Get here. Come here to the universe the way it really is. Trauma survivors refuse to accept the painful truth. Come here to the painful truth and accept what it is so that you can actually heal and move on from it. Trauma survivors like to obsess over why things shouldn't have happened. Let's get out of the shoulds and let's come here to the is. This is what happened. This is how it happened. And is it unfair? Yes, acknowledge that. It's unfair, but can bad things happen to good people? Yes, and they do. Bad things are happening to good people. That is the universe we're living in. That's the timeline we're living in. Let's recognize it so that we can cope with it. Trauma survivors like to blame themselves or others for how the universe works. Don't do that. That's not helping. You didn't make the universe the way it is. And a lot of times the people you're blaming didn't do that either. Don't look for someone to blame. Let's come here to the universe the way it is. There's a lot of nuance. They did some things wrong. Sometimes, in some cases, we have some responsibility that we got to look at. Sometimes we forget that the universe is unfair and that everyone's not getting what they deserve. And so we become surprised when the universe is unfair and we don't get what we deserve. We go, how could this happen? I was a really good husband to her. Yeah, you were a good husband, bro. But she's wicked. Here's a great example of accepting the universe exactly as it is. There are wicked people in the universe. True or untrue? Follow me. If there's wicked people, are all the wicked people like in jail? Do all the wicked people like live in the hood somewhere? In a dark alley? Is that where they are? Where are all the wicked people? Where are they? We know they're here. We all understand there's wicked people. Where are they at? If you were a wicked person, where would you go? Where would you hide? Do this exercise with me. Tinder. If you were a wicked person, where would you hide? Go ahead, answer that question for me. I want you to use your imagination. I know it's hard. to think like a wicked person, where would you hide? Church, church, church. Among good people. Yes, behind a mask, that is correct. And church is also correct, and among good people is also correct. You would hide among the non-wicked, and you wouldn't tell people, hey, I'm wicked. You wouldn't tell people that, would you? You would mask up and be like, hey, I'm just like you. Oh, a puppy died? Ooh. Oh, we're still crying about that? Oh, what happened to those children was a real tragedy. Meanwhile, you don't care. You don't have any empathy. You play along and you mask up and you fake the empathy. And you fake like you care because you're wicked. That's what wicked people do. So where are they? They're right next to you. They're in your home. They're in your family. They're a part of your bloodline. They are your adult sons and daughters. They are your husbands and wives. They are your mothers and fathers. I'll repeat that. They are your mothers and fathers, because most of us would not be here right now if we didn't have a wicked parent or two. You can't. Some of us have a hard time accepting that mom could be wicked. Yeah. Most of the child abuse is happening because of moms that are wicked. That's who's doing most of the child abuse. Yeah, most of my clients had a wicked mom. No one talks about it. It's nowhere in the media. Nobody talks about all the mean, abusive, neglectful, cold, wicked moms, wicked women that are masquerading as moms because they had a uterus, so they had the ability to get pregnant and birth a child. And they know that makes them blend in because society will project goodness on them for being a mother. Society will project nurturing on them for being a mom. The wicked people are hiding in plain sight. So, recognize how the universe is to understand that who you are dating, if they were a narcissist, that was a wicked person. That was one of the bad guys that you learned about in school when you learned about villains. That was who that was. Like, what was that? That was so crazy. People ask questions like, why did they tell me that they wanted to do the right thing, but then when it came down to doing the right thing, they just tore me down and treated me really badly and they lied to me? Why did they gaslight me? Why did they? Because they were narcissists. They were wicked. And the narcissists create the avoidance. So a lot of the avoidance had narcissistic parents. And avoidance can create more avoidance. So we got a bunch of avoidant people because avoidant peoples are survivors that are scared out of their mind because they had an encounter with wickedness. They saw the devil in their face. And it was their father. You wouldn't believe the stories I've heard. This is what I do. The trauma survivors I've worked with have told me stories from their past. Not even on some trauma dumping, just letting me know what they've been through. I could make my own Epstein file. I know about all kinds of perpetrators out there. And a lot of times it's folks' own parents. It's their own parents. It's terrible. So we have to recognize the world the way it really is. Just because someone has a child doesn't make them good. Just because someone happens to be your mom, dad, brother, sister doesn't make them good. Just because they're pretty or they're handsome or they had some other good qualities like they made money or something like that, it doesn't mean they're good. The wicked people are right around us. And then the traumatized people, they're not wicked in themselves, but they grew up amongst the evil, so all they know is to reflect that evil right back. And that's where you have the avoidance, just painfully dissociating from reality and heaping all kinds of trauma on you. And I know for myself personally, the most amount of time was wasted by the narcissist, but the most amount of pain for me was the avoidant. Because I could sense she was an empath and a good person, and I actually loved her. The narcissist, it was easy for me to fall out of love with her eventually. It's just like, ew, like you're gross. You're not even a real person. Like you're not a real human. Like they're humans, but they're a different breed. They're offspring of Cain. They're gross. Once you realize it, once you see it, it's unattractive. But with the avoidance, man, your heart can really go out to them, and you still feel for them even after they've left you and have abandoned you. So you have to recognize that this exists and that's the world that we live in, instead of trying to fantasize about it being different. And that's what we're doing when we are talking too much about when are they going to come back? Are they going to come back? Am I going to see them again? Them. Relax. Come here. Where are we right now? I live in a reality where they could be with me, but they are choosing not to. Sit with that. They could communicate. They could be kind, but they're choosing not to. They could care about my feelings, but they're actively choosing not to. That's the reality. Not when are they coming back? Are they going to come back? Not that. That's not reality right now. This is reality. They could just call you right now, and they don't. In every single moment that passes, they choose not you. So even if they love you in their heart, it's useless because they choose not you. So therefore, they don't qualify. That's so sad, isn't it? They choose not you. Even though you're the best thing that ever happened to them. It's not a reflection on you. And that's where we have to see the universe as it really is. Other people don't determine your worth and your value. Their traumatized way of responding and acting doesn't determine your worth and your value. They choose to be in solitude and in numbness and just to deal with the pain rather than deal with the fright, the scariness of losing you. Okay, that's odd, but that's reality. And we have to look at it as it is and not worry about where they're at and who they're with. Look at your reality around you. You've been abandoned. You chose a partner, and the whole purpose of the partner was that you have someone to do everything with. Right? So you have someone to live day to day with. And they said, I'm going to do not that. I could be with you, but I'm going to choose not you. I'm just going to choose to do something else. And it's like, you try to ask them for a good reason, they can't give you a good reason. So what's the reality? What's the universe the way it really is? That there are some people that are so traumatized that they are toxic even though they're not bad people. There are some people that are so traumatized that they're not good for us. They're radioactive. And just as you have to quarantine away from a person who has COVID, even though they could be a good person, you have to quarantine away from mentally ill, untraumatized people, even though they could be good at heart or have other good qualities. I repeat, you have to quarantine from toxic people. Avoidance, who choose not you. That's a toxic person. Parents who neglect you. They're toxic people. We should base our decisions, our viewpoint, on logic, on evidence, rather than emotion. An emotional thing to say is, they love me, but they just don't know how to show it. An evidence-based thing to say is, they keep violating my boundaries and dismissing my needs, therefore they don't qualify to be with me. You see the difference? The emotional thing said, they love me, they just don't know how to show it. In other words, I want to make excuses for them. When we look at it logically, based on evidence, they keep violating my boundaries. When a person leaves you, that's disloyalty. That's a boundary violation. You understand? They're being disloyal to you. When they abandon you, that's a boundary violation. It's opposite direction, right? They're not coming at you, they're going away from you, but still a boundary violation. It's like, you're not supposed to just abandon me while we're in the middle of doing our thing. And that's what they do. As soon as they get close, as soon as they're intimacy, they bounce on you. That's a violation of your boundary. It's a dismissal of your needs. Have you ever tried talking to them, having a serious, hard conversation? It's like pulling teeth. That's a violation of your boundaries and a dismissal of your needs. Yeah, Jessica, they don't care about taking care of necessary business. They just care about doing what they do to regulate their own feelings. They got your stuff. They'll steal your money, your clothing, your electronics, your devices. They don't care. They'll burn the whole thing down in the process of getting away from you. How terribly insulting. Like, is it that bad? Am I that bad? No, it's not a reflection on you. It's a reflection on their inability to cope with reality. So we want to get out of the emotional, they have something I need, they have something I want, they, and get into the, oh, now I understand what they really are. Fact of the universe the way it really is. Some people are cruel and unsafe. Fact of the universe the way it really is. The past cannot be changed. Fact of the universe the way it really is. Being dumped, blocked, it's a trauma, and it wasn't your fault. Being discarded or ghosted is a trauma, and it wasn't your fault. Seeing the universe as it really is, I'm not in control of others. I'm not responsible for their actions. I'm not in control of others. Seeing the universe as it really is, life is unfair. Bad things happen to good people. Seeing the universe as it really is, death, loss, pain is a part of existence here. It's a part of life here. What if they care deeply, but they can't function because they've been abandoned? Then they don't qualify. They don't qualify as being a mate for you. You care deeply too. We care deeply for those people. We care deeply, they care deeply. They can't function. They don't qualify. Just like a job. You can care about the job all you want. I believe in this corporation. Okay, sir, can you get to work? I can't. Why can't you work, sir? I just care too much about the corporation. It just paralyzes my body. Okay, well, we appreciate your care. However, if you can't get any work done, we are going to have to let you go. You understand? You're the hiring manager for your company. They are the candidate. They came in on a trial basis. They were doing good at first, and then they became paralyzed with how much they cared. And then they couldn't work anymore. So you have to let them go. Good job on following the steps. You set a boundary. If you're following my steps, then you must have set a boundary. You must have expressed your actual needs. Yeah. So the loss that you have on the avoidant, leaving or losing them, it is a purge of what is toxic and what would not have worked. So the faster you get to that loss, the better. The faster you get to the loss, the better. Keep that in mind. Isabel, keep that in mind. Like, you lost them today, and that's painful, but remember, it would have been way worse if you would have kept them around and kept them around and kept them around and kept chasing them and stayed in this perpetual pattern of trying to keep them and chase them and keep them and chase them. When you got them, you want to keep them. When they run, you try to chase them. Wow, your life would have not been good to continue to do that. The faster you can let an avoidant go, and eliminate them because you've made them run away with your boundaries, or you just told them, hey, it's not going to work because you don't meet my standards, the better. The faster, the better. Deal with the pain here and now. Do your devaluation list. That will bring your pain down. And let's work through this now, because we don't want to spend our life. What's way worse than losing an avoidant right now is spending your life in the perpetual cycle, thereby enabling them, by the way, to stay exactly as they are. You realize that. Those of you who keep avoidants around for a long time, you just enabled them. That's all you did. You just kept them in the unhealed state, kept validating their unhealedness. Sometimes avoidants do attract one another, and they love it. They both avoid each other, and they see each other like once or twice a month, and they're like, this is great. And it's great for all of us too, because then they don't hurt us, and they're with each other. Eventually, sometimes it implodes on itself, and then they're back out into the field. Is there any questions on this? Rule number 6. Accept the universe exactly as it is based on evidence. Accept the universe exactly as it is based on evidence. Any questions on that? How do you heal from being an avoidant? You got to get out of out of fear and into love. That doesn't mean you don't feel fear anymore, but you have to stop at level 1 where you keep following the fear and letting the fear and the feelings guide your actions. And you need to now allow all actions to be guided by your love, your intellect, your conscious mind, your reasoning, your wisdom. Love, being the guiding force, is focusing on what's beneficial for yourself and others. The moment you do that for every single decision, you are no longer avoidant. You are now securely attached. Guys, a securely attached person, if you want to be securely attached, it means that you are able to take the risk of being hurt. That's a securely attached person. They just go ahead and they take the risk. They don't do it in a way that's reckless, but they will take calculated risks. They'll look at a person and say, I see the potential, I'm going to try. That's a securely attached person. And then when the person starts showing signs or whatever, they let the person go. When the person starts, I'm going to avoid you, okay. It hurts still. Securely attached people still get hurt, just like you. We're just like you. But we're allowing ourselves to take the risk and to give people opportunities. Ideally, we're not going to invest everything up front, and that's how we mitigate that pain. Do monkey branching relationships ever last? Any relationship that you get into that you're healthy and they're healthy can last. But if you're going to stay a monkey brancher, then no. If one of you stays a monkey brancher, then no. Do you just feel the pain in that acceptance phase? It's not just feeling the pain. It's feeling the pain and then using your intellect to process what things mean. Because you can keep pain going by processing things wrong, such as a detrimental way of processing is, there must be something wrong with me. I must be too ugly. I must not be good enough because they left me, because they're not with me anymore. That's detrimental processing. So yeah, feel the pain, but then also process it properly. Something wrong with me, there's something wrong with them. That's a proper way of processing that helps you to be able to heal and to get out of that perpetual pain state. So do your devaluation list, and that will help you tremendously. My husband says he's used to my feelings. It makes me sad. Okay, I'm not sure the context there. I get triggered by it. I'm not sure what he's saying. Are you avoidant, or is he avoidant? Are avoidance and narcissism tied? I've had questions about whether or not he might be narcissistic. Avoidance and narcissists are on two opposite ends of the spectrum. A narcissist is cruel intentionally. They lack empathy for human beings and animal life, and they don't take accountability virtually ever. Avoidance are people who do have a capacity for empathy, and they can take accountability. They might not be doing it right now while they're avoiding you and trying to believe that they made the right decision, but at other times in their life, you've seen plenty of empathy and capacity to take accountability. I feel so good right now because I told somebody the other day, you have to be open to rejection. Yeah, that's the healed mindset. I'm going out there, I'm going to reject some people, and some people are going to reject me. Let's go. And they go out there and they get rejected. That's a securely attached person. They take the rejection, they heal from it, they get back up, they go out and take more rejection. That is a secure attachment. The anxious and the avoidant attachments are, I can't handle rejection, I can't handle rejection. Relax, you can. Give yourself in small amounts, give people an opportunity, give it time. If there's a rejection on their end or on your end, that's okay. That's a part of the vetting process. We need to meet each other and be able to walk away from each other. Wow, then I'm secure. I didn't know it. That's scary. True, I think that's me. I don't know how to not invest everything up front. I'm always for the risk. Yeah, you're too much upfront investment. We got to just pull that back. That's all we got to do for you, Laura. We just got to pull that upfront investment back. So watch the videos on vetting. You got to treat relationships like a job interview. They are candidates for a position in your life. Relationships are people who are candidates for a position in your life. So up front, in those first interactions, you're just asking questions. You're just getting to know. I'm just getting to know you. Recognize that when you're 2 weeks in, you're still just getting to know the person. Generally speaking, 4 weeks in, you're still just getting to know a person. When you allow yourself to have feelings 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks in, a lot of feelings, like too much emotional investment, you got to pull it back yourself. You got to immediately stop and say, whoa, I'm spending too much time. I'm fantasizing too much. I'm idealizing. I don't know their flaws. If you have feelings for a person, like high feelings for a person, and you don't know all their flaws, that's not true love. That's limerence. Pull back. Pull back. Monster mother-in-law tearing my marriage apart. Ooh. Sorry to hear that. Disconnect from her, and when your husband is not siding with you, let him know that that's a sin, that's wrong. He is to side with you, and you may have to do some emotional disconnection from him as well. I was regretting giving them a chance, but that's normal. It's not healthy. It's not healthy to regret giving someone a chance. There's no benefit to regret beyond a momentary pausing, realizing that something went wrong. You could have a momentary regret, but you should never stay in regret day after day. That's a lack of processing it fully. Okay? No, with no regret. We don't live in regret. We need to process fully. Okay, I did it. That's fine. I did it. Live with it. Full chest. I gave him a chance. My choice. I gave him a chance. He took my heart, stomped on it, beat it up, whatever. I gave him a chance. He ripped it up into pieces, threw it in the trash. Full chested. You understand? Put your chest out. I made a choice. I'm a grown up. That was what I did. Okay? Don't live in regret. Oh well, that was the choice I made. Didn't work out. It happens. We make choices as grown-ups that don't work out. Why? Because you're not God. How are you supposed to? You can't tell the future. How are you supposed to know that every decision you make is going to work out? By the way, please don't forget that sometimes decisions don't work out, and that's not your fault. there's nothing to regret. You made a decision. Sometimes things work out, and that wasn't because you were so brilliant. It just happened to work out. And sometimes things don't work out. And it's not because you're a fool. It's just because it didn't work out. So you saw the dude, you gave him a chance. What's the regret? You have a momentary like, oh well, I lost time, I lost money, I lost energy. Moving on. If you want to stay securely attached, you got to process properly what it means, which is nothing except for there's a lesson to be learned, and let me move on. Let me keep opening myself up. It's time to get hurt again. Feeling the pain is hard. Yeah, don't stay in the pain. Feel it, and then use the tools. The tools bring you out of the pain. JOT method, devaluation list, control list. Use the tools. Don't just sit in the pain all day. Feelings is hard day after day. No. Feel it. 90 seconds. Now, okay, go. Use the tools. The tools are to help you mitigate the pain in a healthy way instead of just, I'm going to run away from this. Don't run away from pain. Don't do that. How do I keep staying in evidence base after the avoidant ran away, after I set up my boundaries since? You stay in evidence by getting out of the feelings and staying in the intellect. Observing evidence using your senses, writing it down. What does the evidence help me to conclude? Stay scientific about it. I feel like now after 9 years, can a person be securely attached and blame and lack accountability? Person says secure but immature. For now, I'll separate attachment from emotional maturity, but I mean, what's more important is not whether they're securely attached, they're emotionally immature. They lack accountability and they blame. Like, who cares what their attachment is? They can't qualify on any level if they lack accountability and they blame others. That needs to be fixed. Since I've noticed I'm not anxious only if I'm working out, studying, keeping my mind busy. Yeah, you should be able to not be anxious even if you're not keeping your mind busy, but it's good to stay busy on positive things. While listening to you, I'm motivated to let them go, but go back to mentally chasing when alone. Listen to me more. Do the things that I'm teaching you to do. When you feel motivated to chase them mentally, do a devaluation list. He says he's used to my feelings when I'm feeling sad, so he doesn't want to help me with it. Oh, so he's just using that, he's saying that as a lack of emotional empathy. Like, oh, whatever, I'm used to your feelings. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. He says he feels overwhelmed. Well, that's like contradictory. Like, I'm used to your feelings or I'm overwhelmed by your feelings. Those are two different things. I'm used to your feelings is a minimization of your feelings, which is a form of abuse or neglect in this case. I'm overwhelmed by your feelings is avoidant. He's avoidant and emotional immaturity. You don't need to be overwhelmed by another human's feelings. Newsflash, it's inside of them. You don't have to be overwhelmed. But avoidance, unhealed trauma survivors have trouble with that sometimes. The difference between dismissive or fearful avoidant, that's something you can just Google. Rejection can be a blessing. Yeah, big time. Rejection is a part of life and relationships. Rejection is a part of life and relationships. It's not a bad thing. It's not something to avoid. Rejection is a part of it's healthy. It's healthy. I need to be able to reject you because I might meet you and realize that you're not what I want. Rejection is a good thing. Ask yourself, why can rejection be a good thing? If you have a fear of rejection, by the way, and you'll realize who's some people I want to be rejected by. Narcissists, psychopaths, sociopaths, people who I'm not compatible with, people who I don't find attractive, right? You want to be rejected by some people and get into that headspace. I want to be rejected. So then you lose the fear. I saw online it takes 1 month for every year of a relationship to heal. Erase that out of your brain. That's completely untrue. There's absolutely no pre-written timeline for the healing. It's completely different for everyone. Some of us are so skilled at healing, we can be over a relationship in weeks. It's just, and there's different types of relationships, so that's completely ridiculous. What are your thoughts about fearful avoidant with extreme hypervigilance? My thoughts are that they need to enroll in my trauma healing program and heal that and stop hurting people and hurting themselves. I feel sorry for them. They live in complete fear all the time. Everything is fear, fear, fear. That's their whole personality. It's just trauma response. It's really sad. She is in a rebound and she says she loved both of us, but she can't have both of us in her bed. That's true. She should, yeah. I mean, that's a lot of people in a bed. You know, it's a lot of people in a bed. Let me know if you have a question. Ignorance was a bliss I miss. Now I'm so painfully aware of all. It's like, okay, I'll heal, but dang. Yeah, welcome to adulthood. That's how it feels to be a grown up. Welcome to wisdom. I'll heal, but dang. Yeah. Just switch it a little bit. Make it dang. Okay, now time to heal. Like that. End it on a good note. He says these are my feelings when feeling sad. Yeah, don't repeat your comments. Okay, I'm going through one by one, so that means I'm way behind where you guys are looking at the new scroll. So don't repeat your comments. I'm not missing them. I'm reading one at a time to catch up with you. Married and avoidant, and he claims he is going to divorce and still hasn't in 9 months. Let me know if you have a question. When I realized how I felt less of myself when he's around, changed everything. Thanks for sharing. And also having a great date and then come home, get anxiety and ghost. Yeah, that's an avoidant mentality. Should you still be vetting while in a relationship? Yes. What? The only time you're not vetting the person is when you're married. That's when vetting stops. When you're married. Okay, now I'm no longer trying to figure out if you're the one for me because we got married. So now we're in an actual committed, legally binding relationship. So now we just make it work to the extent possible. Otherwise, the rest is vetting. And every exchange between two people is a relationship. So relationship, like this whole concept of like we're in a relationship or not in a relationship, it's made up concepts. Like we're not in a relationship. Yes, you are. Like, it's all relationships. It's all really like these loser guys who do this. Yeah, I cheated, but we weren't in a relationship. We weren't exclusive. It's a relationship. It's all relationships. Everybody that you exchange anything with, it's a relationship. That's it. Don't try to define like make an extra definition category because you're too scared and avoid it and you don't have your life together enough to get married, but you're trying to bump heels together and so you go, oh, we're in a relationship. Just are you it's one or the other. Are you trying to find a forever mate? So you vet through and then you can get engaged and then you can get married. But it's all a relationship the whole time. As soon as you're talking, it's the talking stage is even a relationship. It's all a relationship. Should I, as the dumpy, break no contact week 18? Generally no, because since they are the person who initially created the standard of no contact, you should generally respect their boundary. Um, but if you feel that you would like to take that risk and get yourself hurt because you think that they need you to reach out to them because that's going to be for their benefit and that's what they need and they've changed and you've changed, okay, it's up to you. You know, there's no rules on this thing, But generally speaking, chances are in most relationships that have broken up, you should not be thinking about trying to get in contact with them again. You should be thinking about healing and pursuing your self-love and your purpose. I saw a guy who pursued me and never called while I was out on a date with someone else. Am I wrong for ignoring him? There is no right and wrong. You do what's beneficial for you. So ask yourself, was that beneficial when I ignored him? If it was beneficial, then that you got the answer to your question. After 5 years, he left me for someone at work. We lived together and graduated with master's degree. So broken. Thank you for sharing. Let me know if you have a question. Guys, don't repeat your message. You'll get to it. Yeah, I'm moving through one by one, and you're burying me with the repeats. So just ask your question once and then wait as I move through. How do you push back on love bombers? You don't push back on a love bomber. You let them love bomb you. Take all the gifts. Take all the love. Give me a kiss on that side. Give me a kiss on this cheek. Take it all. Absorb all the love. Don't you deserve all the love? Take all the love. And then the moment they drop the love bombing, the moment they are incongruent, you stop. You pull back and you say, hey, you're being incongruent. You used to kiss me on this cheek and this cheek, and now you only kissed me on this cheek. What's going on? The moment they become incongruent, you call it out. If it's love bombing and if it's manipulation, they are unable to continue to keep it up. You've got them in a trap. You got them. Remember, you have the upper hand if someone's love bombing you because they can't keep it up. So you wait, you absorb it all. Take it all. Ooh, balloons, flowers, thank you. Ooh, is that a designer purse? Oh my God, thank you. Take it all. And then the moment they can't keep that up, you call them out on it. Hey, what's going on? Where's the gifts? Call them out. Call them right out on it immediately. And don't blame yourself. Blame them. What are your thoughts on fearful avoidant? I already answered that question. How do you let go of anger and bitterness from previous relationship? It sounds like you know that you should let go of anger and bitterness. There is no benefit to any of the things you named. It's like saying, how do I take off these old, nasty, dirty clothes and take a shower and put on some new clothes? Take them off, sir. You understand, you're recognizing that there's no benefit of keeping those clothes on. There's no benefit to your anger. What are you doing with the anger? Anger is an action emotion. You're doing nothing with it. Bitterness, there's no benefit to bitterness. Repudiate those by setting an emotional boundary. I don't do anger. I don't do bitterness. Those are no-goes. Bitterness is a no-go. There's never a place for it. Anger is, yeah, you can momentarily feel it, but if there's nothing to do with it, then you need to downgrade it to the actual base emotion, which is sadness. So process through those things. If you need help, set up a one-on-one appointment with me. You can do so on my website. He was always choosing his mother. Left him in a very calm way. It hurts, but I'm processing. Why are you hurt? You dodged a bullet. That was the best thing that could have possibly happened to you. And you did it in a calm way. You're a genius. You're brilliant. You should be patting yourself on the back. You should be taking your girlfriends out. You should be playing with puppies in a field. You're brilliant. Dodge the bullet. Some people marry the guy. Oh, he's always putting his mother first. I'll try marrying him. No, get out of there. It's being in tune with your intuition and actually listening to it for the first time. Saves a lot of time. Completely untrue. No, it has nothing to do with being in tune with your intuition. Your intuition is, even just by definition, the conclusion that you come to when you don't have evidence. It's not about being in tune with your intuition, because your intuition only can know at the very best what you can perceive with your physical senses, which is limited. It's about being in tune with reality and evidence and making conscious decisions in your life, not being guided by feelings and impulses. That's base level survival. Intuition is base level survival. You need intuition in a base level survival situation. Guy with hoodie walking behind me in a dark alley, my intuition tells me I'm in danger. Yeah, listen to that because that's a base level survival situation. But like, oh, I'm vetting this person. I'm vetting this man to see if he'll be my forever mate. Not a time for intuition. Your feelings can't tell you anything. Your feelings will tell you the wrong thing. They'll tell you to go after them. Not a time for intuition. A lot of times your feelings may be based on fear from past relationships. And you go, oh, my intuition told me he was a bad guy. 99% of the people that you meet are not the right one for you. Your intuition is not magical. Your intuition is making a choice based on limited information. You should only use that in a survival situation. You should rely on your higher consciousness when choosing a mate. Your higher consciousness, not your intuition. So if the avoidant doesn't divorce you after saying he would, what should you do? If you have grounds for a divorce, you can move forward with it yourself, or you can let them meander about their life with their inability to take action and just focus on what you control. Don't worry about what they're going to do. Who cares if they're going to do a divorce or not? Focus on what you've got to do. She is in a rebound, and she says she loved both of us. I already answered that one. I do have regrets, though, because I lost 4 years of my life. Yeah, notice how your regret is over your loss of what you put into it, 4 years of your life. Okay, momentary loss, acknowledge your loss, and then acknowledge that you made a choice and get out of regret. Like staying in the regret, what's that going to do for you? You already lost 4 years. How much more time do you want to lose, Jessica? Do you like to lose more time to regret? 4 years wasn't enough time? How long would you like to stay in regret? Let's figure it out. How about 2 years of regret? So you can lose a total of 6 years. Does that sound good? Okay, then stop. Stop with the regret. It's useless. Create a list, 3 things on a piece of paper, justifications list. This is why I made the decision I made. 3 reasons why you're justified in having made the decision you made, even though it didn't turn out well. No room for regret. It's useless. Does the avoidant need to face their toxic relationship that they've been hiding or cut it off? Yeah, they need to break the trauma bond. They need to break their secret trauma bond. Yeah. All avoidance, guys, she's talking about the secret trauma bond that all avoidants have. A lot of times they're hiding it. It's to their parents or an adult child or something that they're holding on to that they think is their whole life and existence. Yeah, they got to cut that off if they're going to have room for you in their life. Gave him a chance, and he treated his worse for giving him a chance. He treated you worse for giving him a chance. Yeah, that's avoidance. The more good you do for them, the more they run. Wow, not time to get hurt again. Yep, time to get hurt again. I'm ready to get hurt again. That's a secure mindset. It's a part of life. I'm ready to go out and get rejected. Yeah, it hurts. It's unenjoyable. Yes. What is the JOT method? Please go to YouTube and look it up. Please take that effort. It'll only take you 30 seconds to look it up on YouTube because it's a method you need to learn. And I can't just teach you the method here because it takes at least 15 minutes for me to explain the method to you. But you need to learn it because it's a tool to use. What are the tools to deal with the pain? JOT method, devaluation list, and a control list. A control list is where you write down on a piece of paper. We put a line down the middle. On the right-hand side, you write what you control. On the left-hand side, you write what you do not control any day about any given situation. And you cross out the things you do not control and you focus on what you do control. And you'll realize that a lot of your pain is focusing on everything you don't control. There's nothing we can do about what we don't control. When we don't have power, we don't have responsibility. I did the list. It was horrible to see it in ink. Good. Do a justification list so you don't stay in regret. What are your thoughts about fearful avoidant with extreme hypervigilance? I already answered that question. Stop repeating your questions, please. I get triggered when my husband hangs out with his friends that cheat on his wife, but he tells me he's not them. it's not doing you any good to get triggered. You can't control what your husband's going to do. What can you do? You can communicate your needs, wants, and preferences. So you can say something to your husband to the effect of, I don't like it when you hang out with these types of friends. I would prefer you don't. That's all you can do. You say it. You said your piece. Now you got to go about your life and let him do what he's going to do. If he's going to leave you, if he's going to cheat, it's actually like, let's hurry up and get to it. Like the faster you do that, the better, because that's exposing what you really are. It's that simple. Don't worry about being overly consumed with the thoughts, feelings, and actions of another person. Right now, you're overly consumed with his actions, hoping you can find regulation in trying to regulate his actions. Don't worry about that. Worry about yourself, regulating your actions, your feelings. Where do I find the tools to deal with the pain? Yeah, I just went over that. Don't copy paste your questions, guys. If she go back to her ex while in a relationship, question mark. It's too vaguely written. If she go back to her ex while in a relationship, question mark. You guys are in a relationship and she went back to her ex, what's the question? If I don't understand the question, I'm sorry. What are your thoughts about, okay, man, so many repeats. If she is a rebound, she says she loves both of us, another repeat. How do you not give so much, especially if it's in your nature? Look, you're not special. We all love here. Everyone here is a lover, right? So it's in my nature to give so much up front. Yeah, because you're a lover, good, okay? But we're all children of God here, right? Good for you. So instead of saying like, I'm some type of exception that has to do this, let's focus on controlling our actions using our conscious mind. Pause 5 to 7 seconds before making a decision. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Before committing to something, before saying something, pause. Analyze. Is this beneficial for me and them? You must love yourself equal to how much you love the other person. Make sure you're not giving too much. Learn how to be assertive. Learn how to set boundaries based on your comfort. Learn to understand your feelings. Practice those things. Don't just be, I'm a big ball of emotion. No. Slow down. Slow down. You're intelligent. You're an intelligent being. What is the difference between fearful, avoidant, and dismissive? Yeah, like I said, I prefer you just Google that question. I don't put a lot of emphasis on that, so I don't want to spend time talking about that, because it's like a person can slide between being both. It's not like we categorize them as one of these and now we've got it all figured out. Like, it's irrelevant, because ultimately they're responding out of fear and hurting themselves and others. So sitting there trying to split hairs on that, for me, is not worth the time, in my opinion. But you can look it up and you'll find lots of good answers. You can also use AI to find answers on that, like the chat bots. If she go back to her ex while in a relationship, I'm sorry, repeating the question, but I still don't understand the question. Example of personal boundaries to protect against enmeshment. In the beginning of a relationship, when you're first talking, when they want to move in with you very quickly, you set a boundary. No. When they want to pay your bills or pay for too much, where you would become dependent on them, it would be a no. Too early in the relationship. When they want to share bank account, share car, have you use their stuff, have them use your stuff, say no, when it's too early in the relationship. Things that would create dependency on one another. When it's too early in the relationship, you just say no. Why? Because it's going to create enmeshment too early. Before we have basis for commitment, we're already getting enmeshed. It's a tactic that narcissists use so that they can get out of the love bombing phase faster. Enmeshment. Because once they have you hooked, because you now have their baby, or you're now getting married to them, or you're now moved into their house, or you now are, they're paying your cell phone bill, whatever it is. They feel now they've got something physical to hook you. So now they can let the guard down and let the mask fall off. My fiance broke up with me 1 month before our wedding. He said he's not sure. Yeah, better than after the wedding. Remember that. Tell yourself that. She's in a rebound. She says she loves both of us. She wants, but she can't have both of us in her bed. Oh my God. The moment I start sharing how I feel, he gets angry and dismisses my feelings all the time. Then he doesn't qualify to be with you. Is that what you want? Is that what you were looking for in a mate? You can't be with a person who gets angry when you have feelings. You see how that's not sustainable when I say it? Does that make it more clear? How do I be with someone who's angry every time I have feelings? Feelings are a daily part of life. I'm an avoidant in all my relationships, even with my family. I want to be able to express myself. Do everything in love, do nothing in fear. Everything in love, nothing in fear. If your family is toxic, you should avoid them. If your family is toxic, you should avoid them. If you're talking about your family of origin. But don't avoid your own children, if that's what you're talking about. Please don't copy paste your questions. I'm going through one by one. I'm behind you. I feel like he conditioned me to expect less. Yeah, but to an extent, you're allowing that by not pausing, analyzing, calling out the incongruence, and saying, hey, wait a second, this isn't lining up, and pulling back until the incongruence is corrected. My fiance broke up with me 1 month. Oh my God. Every time I want to talk about anything important, they either cut me off or dismiss the importance. Yes, so therefore they don't qualify to be with you because they don't have the ability to have important discussions. That's a basic thing that they're going to need, right? I've just been through the dismissive, avoidant, discard. It's hard. Welcome. How long does it take to heal from a narcissistic relationship? I was healed in 5 minutes. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, there's no one amount of time that it takes. Analyze the actual symptoms that you're experiencing, not this nebulous, I was in a narcissistic relationship, I need to heal. That's nebulous. Like, what does that even mean? What are the symptoms you're having? I have anxiety. I have depression. Name the symptom. Then address the symptom by typing my name in, Roman Zanoni, symptom, in YouTube or on TikTok. Then watch the video. Then apply what I told you to do in the second half of the video. Then you'll heal. Set up a session with me. Then you'll heal. Enroll in healing school. Then you'll heal. Don't just say, I got to heal from this narcissistic relationship. Too cloudy. What does that even mean? It's different for every human. I was happy to get out of my narcissistic relationship. I didn't need to heal from it. I needed to get away from her. You know, it's different for all of us, though. Some people are really affected by the abuse. Depends. And that's okay, but we just got to figure out what it is and then heal the actual symptoms you're experiencing. I've just been through the dismissive, avoidant, discard. It's hard. Please don't copy paste your comments. My fiance broke up with me 1 month. Okay. Please don't copy paste your comments. Ooh, wow. I'm about to block this person. How do I get over being ghosted, then dumped? I did everything right. Welcome. Yeah, you're in the right room. Come to the next 6 days of this, enroll in healing school and do a one-on-one session with me. Right now, the exercise you need to do is the devaluation list. How can I stop blaming myself for not leaving at the red flags I ignored? Listen to me very carefully. It would have been stupid to break up because you saw a red flag. This whole idea that we're supposed to see a red flag and break up and then look back and go, I ignored the red flags. That's so dumb. That's not how life actually works. you have to get to know a person, and then when you see the issues, then you break up with the person once you are sure that they cannot respect your boundaries or meet your standards. Now you know that they don't meet your standards. Could you have known sooner? I don't know. I wasn't there. Maybe. But blaming yourself for not knowing sooner is pointless. You're just putting yourself in a cycle that doesn't make any sense. So tell yourself, instead of, I'm stupid, I should have known sooner, which is not even true necessarily, just tell yourself instead, I was operating with what I knew at the time. I did the best I could with what I had at the time. I was lied to. I was given false information. You understand, folks? Don't blame yourself for not leaving when you saw the red flags. Look back and say, that was then, this is now. I'm smarter now. Now I know. I didn't know back then. Just because you see a red flag doesn't mean you know that you're supposed to walk away from a person forever. How would you know that? Sometimes when you see a red flag, you think, oh, maybe this is this, maybe this is that. You're giving the benefit of the doubt a lot of times, and that's not totally wrong. A lot of times you think, maybe they'll learn, maybe I can talk to them about it. You have to set boundaries still, you have to be assertive. The first red flag does not mean just run away. It means sometimes you might have something to discuss. So the whole red flags thing, that's why you never hear me saying, red flags, this is a red flag. You never hear me talking about that, because that's not the way to guide your relationship. You guide your relationship through your boundaries and your standards, not through recognizing the red flags. How do I handle gray rocking when sleeping in the same bed? The same way you would handle it if you slept in two separate beds. Straight face. By the way, if you have to gray rock a person, they're not safe, so you want to be getting your own bed as soon as possible. Sorry if that was a stupid question. I don't even know what question you're talking about. Apology not accepted. Like what? Sorry if it's a stupid question. Just ask your question and it is what it is. Get the answer. Don't worry about whether someone else thinks it's stupid. What work does an anxious attacher need to work on, please? They need to work on not living according to fear, and they need to work on living according to love. Do narcissists really come to the realization of settling with one person? I don't know what you mean, but narcissists don't come to any realizations. They've already fully developed who they're going to be at like 7 years old, and then they choose to be a wicked person for the rest of their life. There's no other realizations they come to. Any advice on how to withstand the slander once you leave and are trying to heal in a small town? Yes, recognize that every great person is slandered. There's no such thing as being a great or notable person and not being slandered. Everybody's got enemies. Everyone has haters. If you're known by someone, then you have your haters. Every single person who you believe in your small town is affected by your smear campaign, cut them off. Every single person in your small town who you believe is affected by your smear campaign, cut them off and preemptively until they come and tell you, I love you, I'm with you, I'm on your side, then you know they're safe. But just assume that anyone who you think is affected, just cut them off. I don't care if you're down to 2 friends, 1 friend, 1 person, 0 people. I don't care if you're down to 0. That's fine. It's you and God rocking it out. God's not affected by the smear campaign. So you're good. My fiance broke up with me, and live according to purpose. Pursue your purpose, and then your tribe will be attracted to you. You need your true tribe. Your true tribe is not all the people in your small town. That's not your true tribe. It's not all the people who are affected by if they're affected by the smear campaign, then they're not your people, right? Your people can't get turned from you. So all those people who get turned from you, they're not your people. Let them go. Ignore them. Ignore their existence. You'll literally see them in the supermarket and you just walk right past them. My fiance broke up with me 1 month. Okay. I want a prenup and an NDA before I think of getting married. Ha ha ha, laughing emoji. Yeah, get your prenup and your NDA, but it still ends in that you need the commitment. You still need a marriage instead of hanging around in a relationship that's definitely going to end. That's the real dumb thing. Those are just excuses to play around. What work does an anxious attacher? I already asked that. How do you break the rumination phase when you finally leave a toxic relationship? Use the JOT method to break the rumination phase. But a fast tool you can use is a propitious question. Ask yourself why, and then state the objective and aggrandize the objective. So I don't know what your objective is, but let's say your objective is to succeed in life at being a famous actor. You say, why am I still going to be a famous actor despite the fact that that abusive person just broke up with me? Why am I still going to be an amazing famous actor despite the fact that that abusive person broke up with me? When you ask yourself that question, it will stop the rumination. It's a propitious question. Does going no contact have to be said, or can it be done without notifying the other person? It depends on the situation. If they're in a emotionally dependent relationship with you, then it'd be abusive for you to just go no contact without saying anything. Analyze in your case, would it be abusive for me to disappear on this person? Would it be an abandonment? If you don't know them, then you can bounce. So in some cases we have to announce it. In other cases there's no need to announce it because every relationship is so different. My fiance broke up with me. Yeah, please don't repeat your questions, guys. I'm going through one by one, so I'm behind you and I'm coming down the list. All great information, but quite different when a child is involved in being held hostage. Ha! I got you, Roman. I've got the real problems. All the problems you're talking about are not the real life problems. My problems are the real problems. Okay, look. Yeah, life is hard. There's a child involved. Okay, if the person is a narcissist, go no contact with them to the extent possible according to the law. Don't talk about anything with the person that doesn't have to do with the child. If the child is being held hostage, then you need to stop showing the narcissist that you care about the child. You have to act like you don't want the child. Then the narcissist will punish you by making you take the child. He called me a psychopath first time meeting without knowledge, without knowing each other, then proceeded to act like one, always testing me. Gee, should I stay with the person who called me a narcissist, a psychopath the first time I met him? Let me think. I met him. This is day one. I'm vetting the person. We are vetting. During the vetting process, he calls me a psychopath. Should I stay with him? I think we all know the answer to that. That's a simple delete. And you only had one date, so you can literally just be like, deuces, like I'm out. How do you co-parent with a narcissist? You can't. You can't co-anything with a narcissist. they are agents of Satan. How do I get some good co-parenting going with the agent of Satan over here? Is there any way that I can? No, there's nothing. You can't co-parent with them. You can go to the court, fight for custody, figure out what the law is going to say. The judge is going to decide something, and then you go according to the judge's orders. The very bare minimum you have to contact them is the contact you have. Keep it 100% about the child. Everything needs to be documented. There is no cooperation. She or he is your enemy, ma'am or sir. They are your enemy. They are not on your team. They are not for you. They are against you. You need to operate like you're dealing with an enemy. You're not going to co-parent with them. How does a long-distance relationship work? You have to have a prearranged time that the end of the long-distance part is going to happen. You have to close the gap. I recommend within about 90 days maximum. So if you meet them in their long distance, you have to say, okay, I'm coming out there in 90 days so we can meet in person. We can actually be together, or they have to be coming to meet you. If that doesn't happen, you got to cut the relationship off and you say, we're done until we meet. Like when we meet, we can start again, but we need to meet in person. You literally end the relationship. If after 2 to 3 months you haven't met, you need to end the relationship. Do not waste your time in a long distance relationship. It's okay to talk if you want to talk for a few months just to get to know each other, and while you're waiting for the, because you buy tickets a few weeks in advance, right? Okay, so I got my plane tickets, and so we're going to talk for these 3 weeks. Right? That's fine. But that's it. Do not go beyond 3 months and we're just talking and we just in a long distance. No, no, no. You need to meet in person. You have to. It's a relationship. Otherwise, it's just a pen pal. And downgrade the relationship to we're just friends that like to talk. We don't live real life. We just like to talk. We're pen pals. Let it be what it really is instead of trying to act like you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a potential mate. You don't have anything. For all you know, you could be hooked into an AI and they're just spitting out answers at you. It's really, you could be talking to someone who's the wrong gender, not even the gender you thought you were going to be talking to. How do I let a cheating, avoidant, and emotionally unavailable partner go with respect? Why are you so worried about the respect? I mean, you don't go out of your way to be disrespectful. Just focus on what you need, not what respect they need from the. Just let them go. By communicating. This is what I need, and therefore, since you are not providing that for me, I'm going to leave. That is respectful. It is respectful to let someone go who's not providing for you. Long distance relationship almost killed me. I left home in Arkansas to New York and end up in a narcissist. Never finished the statement. Yeah. Well, yeah, the faster you bridge that gap, the faster you find out they're narcissists. I'm trying so hard not to be angry. Yeah, you don't have to be angry. Just downgrade the anger to the base emotion. Like, what are you covering with the anger? Anger is not going to do you any good, Jessica. You're not going to, what are you going to do with the anger? You're going to go kill someone? No, that's not the thing to do. There's nothing good that the anger is going to provide for you. So cut it out. Get real. Get vulnerable. What is the vulnerable emotion I'm covering with this anger? I feel sad because what? Write it down on a piece of paper. Then do the JOT method. Work through your actual real emotions. Process, therapy, healing, growth. How to stop getting angry and overreactive when I feel triggered. It makes me have a bunch of feelings at once. Write down on a piece of paper what it is that's bothering you. Just like I said to Jessica, downgrade the anger from the bravado string. I'm too strong to show the vulnerable. Break down to the vulnerable emotion that you're covering with the anger. Anger is a secondary covering emotion. Get down to the base. I'm sad because, I'm hurt because there's a vulnerable emotion under there. Maybe you're embarrassed or whatever. Expose it. What is it? Figure it out so you understand your real feelings. And then address it using the JOT method. Use your tools. Alizé, you're not using the tools. Use the JOT method. JOT method. Type it into YouTube. Guy blocked me on IG after asking him not to text other. Oh, by the way, being reactive. You talked about being reactive. Rule of 7 seconds. Rule of 7 seconds. Pause 5 to 7 seconds before responding. You definitely need work on emotional regulation. You are looking to your husband to regulate you. You're looking to the outside to regulate you. Alizé, you need to regulate yourself using tools. Guy blocked me on IG after asking him not to text other women on our dates 6 days in. Good, you set a boundary. When they leave, when you set a boundary, then the boundary worked properly. The boundaries are there to protect you. If a person leaves when you set a boundary, then it worked. Yay, I'm protected. The rejection is the protection. He refused to meet and talk. Perfect. You don't want to meet and talk with him. Why would you want to meet and talk with him? Look at your boundary. Read it again. Read your own boundary. He couldn't do that. Do you want him? No. He doesn't qualify on paper. Loneliness epidemic affecting 170 million Americans, 0 to 2 friends, according to blah, blah, blah. That's such a stupid thing. There's not a loneliness epidemic. Loneliness is a mental illness problem. It's not a issue of how many people you have in your life. You can change the loneliness by changing your perception of your current status. So if you're with 2 people, you need to look at that in a positive way. If you're with 1 person, you need to look at that in a positive way. If you're with 0 people for the time being, you need to look at that in a positive way. And then you don't feel lonely anymore. It's just negative thinking about your current status. That's all loneliness is. Hi, what times do you usually come on here? 12 for the next 12 days. Actually, it's going to be the next 5 days more or 6 days more. We're doing the 12 days of healing. Otherwise, you can come at 7 Central, 8 Eastern on Monday and Wednesday nights. I've been blocked and then I refused a conversation, assuming he's an avoidant or a narc from words. He doesn't qualify. I can't believe you're still writing about this guy. You set a boundary, he's gone. He left. Done. That is it. That's how we find out who's for us. We set boundaries. When they walk away, that was the thing we needed to find out. Can you meet my standards? He can't. He's done. I don't interrupt behavior. I take notes when the energy changes. I name the incongruence. Okay, good. Yeah. I used to confuse my anxiety with my intuition. Yeah, exactly. You are confusing instinct with intuition. No, I'm not. Higher knowledge, which is higher knowing and higher consciousness. Intuition is not higher knowing, higher consciousness. That's being confused. You're confused. You believe in magic. What is the evaluation list? Would you like to make one? I didn't hear it being explained. Sorry. Yeah, I did explain that already. I can't believe that's how far behind on the questions I am. I'm just sad. I know I did the right thing. If you know you did the right thing, then don't be sad. Be proud of yourself. I am a bad communicator. It takes hours or days to write back why I'm busy, always working, etc. Bad company corrupts good character. Birds of a feather. Today's objective title is we did law number 6 today. Always accept the universe exactly as it is. How does one enroll in healing school? By going to the website and tapping the button that says enroll in healing school. Website is on my page, healingcourse.org. I realize I'm an avoidant and in love with an avoidant. Why don't I like it when he ghosts me or avoids me? Why don't you like it when he ghosts you? Because it's a form of neglect. I feel like he was my soulmate. We're 2-year anniversary tomorrow. He won't even answer now. I don't know how to move on. Stop telling yourself, I feel like he was my soulmate, and start doing a devaluation list. They will always move me in, fulfills my fantasy of being rescued, but my FA kicks in and I still leave. Yeah, don't do the extremes. Don't move in the first place too early, and don't run away because you're a fearful avoidant. Be methodical in what you're doing. Vet multiple candidates, find the best candidate, move forward in a systematic method. What is your definition of not moving on for a victim after being abused by a narcissist sociopath? A definition of not moving on? I don't have a definition of not moving on. That's different for different people. How to cultivate self love. By imagining you have a child that you're caring for, and then everything you would do for the child, do for yourself. Everything you would say to that child, say to yourself. How about when the incongruence is called out and they ghost? That's why you called out the incongruence, so that you don't stay with a partner that's eventually just going to leave and ghost you or isn't really a good person. If they ghost, if they walk away when you express your boundary or your standard, that's what you were looking for. That's a good thing. We want to be rejected by unhealthy, toxic people. Yeah, I was really affected by the narcissism in the process of healing now. Welcome, I'm glad. My husband is deployed, and when we get in an argument, he hangs up on me and doesn't call me back till the next day because he knows the argument will go nowhere unless I'm calm because I get angry. Yeah, you're full of emotions over there. You need to regulate your emotions. Look up my name, Emotional Regulation, Alize, and stop being toxic. Toxica. I like your answers. May God bless you. Thanks a lot. How to fall out of love easily. Watch my video, How to Fall Out of Love in 10 Minutes. It's pinned on my TikTok. I recently discarded my narcissist. As I recognize the pattern. Difficult but powerful when you know. Yeah, you did the right thing. My father, 78, listens to my stepmom and then withdraws from a relationship with me. Confront or accept? Accept and move on. Like, who cares? Like, don't even, like, accept is almost too much. Like, literally, who cares what your 78-year-old father's doing? That's a grown man. He doesn't owe you anything. If he's 78, you're not a child anymore. That means you're really a full-grown adult. Why are you worried about what another full-grown man? Why? Because for the first 20 years of your life, you needed him. You don't need him anymore. He doesn't need you either. Get out of his business. Let him live his life. He wants to listen to your stepmom. Let him listen. Let him live out his codependent fantasy. Maybe he's into that. Let him go. He's a grown man. Let him go. It's not your responsibility. Just getting back into the dating scene. Cut him back. Cut him out for 2 weeks, 2 months. Cut him out. Just getting back into the dating scene, but I keep comparing everyone to my ex. That's normal in the beginning. That's normal. Just focus on vetting. Don't worry about if they compare to your ex. Worry about, do they compare to your standards? I'm just asking for a separation from my dismissive, avoidant husband of 5 years. Thank you for sharing. Let us know if you have questions. My wife just get up and said, thank you guys for not repeating your questions and not copy pasting over and over. I'm moving through one by one. I'm behind you. My wife just got up and said she needs to separate. Okay. Let me know if you have questions or anything. Do dismissive avoidance ever come to a sudden realization? Yeah, but it could be 7 months from now. Don't wait around for a dismissive avoidant to come to a realization. It could literally be 2 years from. It could be like 3 years. It can be 10 years down the line. But yeah, they come to realizations. They're smart people. They just avoid their emotions. How do you prevent your kids to become narcissistic? I was in a narcissist relationship for 22 years. Unfortunately, you can't control whether your kids become narcissists or not, but you can try your best to teach them empathy and to teach them accountability. Make sure you're drilling empathy and accountability. I'm in the detachment phase from a covert narcissist avoidant who completely deluded or devalued maybe. And then that's all you said? Covert narcissist avoidant. I'm in a detachment phase. Well, I'm glad you're getting away from them. They're either a narcissist or no, maybe you don't know what they are, but they can't be both. Probably it's a narcissist if you don't know what they are. Kids 2018, 16. Let me know if you have a question. Prenups don't protect you from the pain of building with someone who detests you. That's true. The smear campaign is brutal now, and they are good at it. If they could, they'd turn God against you? ? Yeah, cut off everyone who's affected by the smear campaign. Don't worry about them. Focus on rebuilding, pursuing your purpose, right? Everyone gets hated by people, and sometimes people go through phases. Don't forget Robert Downey Jr. before Iron Man. He was not respected in Hollywood. He was known as a druggie. Do you remember how we used to look at Robert Downey Jr.? He was a drug addict mess up. Nobody respected him as an actor. He was talented, but we didn't respect him. And then he got his life together. He started doing movies. He did a really bad movie, it was a really good movie, he said, that he thought was good, but nobody saw it. It flopped at the box office. But Jon Favreau saw it, who was the director of Iron Man, and said, hey, this guy could do action. And then he ended up getting to do Iron Man, and then became the golden child of Disney. And who would think? Robert Downey Jr., if I would have told you That's going to be Disney's #1 box office smash actor. If I would have told you that back in 2006, 2007, you'd have been like, Robert Downey Jr., the drug addict, he's going to be Disney's #1 actor. You understand? Live your purpose. Don't worry about what people think about you. The world will change when they see you succeeding. Then they all come to you. Oh, we love you. People are fickle. That's why we shouldn't worry about what people are thinking about us, because they change their mind every season. They change their mind. I'm in two minds whether to block or not. I know he's no good, just very torn, because he says he loves me. You need to block if the person is toxic or abusive. If you really, that's what you need to block from, the toxic, abusive energy coming at you. Otherwise, just live your life. You don't need to worry about, do I block or not? If they're not respecting your boundary, then you may have to take that step. If it's toxic, abusive, yeah. But don't worry about blocking. Worry about living according to your standards and pursuing your purpose. Talk more about propitious questions, please. I can repeat what I said. Start with a why. Start with then state your objective, then aggrandize it. Why, despite being dumped, am I going to be the absolute best actor there is? Why, despite being rejected, am I beautiful, loved by everyone, and going to succeed at business without even trying? Why, despite losing my job, am I going to be the most successful marketing director this side of the Mississippi River? Start with a why, state your objective, aggrandize the objective. The absolute best, the most wonderful, the most... It stops the brain from ruminating. It pauses the rumination. It says, whoa, that's a weird question. I don't know how to answer that. And then it has to get to work. It actually feels weird in your brain when you do it. It feels good, though, because your rumination stops. You can co-suffer with a narcissist. Agent of Satan is for real. Wow, that hit home. That's what they are. Parallel parenting. Yeah, that's all you can do. Being in a long relationship was one of his vague excuses to break up. Yeah, a long distance relationship. Yeah. Long distance relationships attract avoidance. So you got to be really careful not to get too attached, and make sure you go meet the person in person as soon as possible, within a few months, so you don't waste your time. I can't seem to get over someone that ghosted me. It's killing me. It's normal. It's normal to feel traumatized by being ghosted. You're not being able to get over them is because you never got a chance to know the real them. So create a devaluation list, and if you have to, I want you to use your inference or make up things that could have been possibly bad about them, and write them on a piece of paper, because you never got a chance to know that person. That's why you can't get over them. Did anyone else feel like they met the love of their life only to realize it's a demon? Yeah, plenty of people. Hey, how are you? He's dragging the court process to punish me. Don't focus on what he does. Do a control list. And so you can organize what you control versus what's not in your control, and only focus on what you control. The power of walking away is profound when you set a boundary. It's very profound. And understand that they can walk away when you set a boundary, and you enforce your boundary by walking away. So that's what it's going to end in at the end of the day. It's all good. Jot method looks cool. Just looked it up. It's not just cool, it's life-changing. It can cure your anxiety and your depression. I'm not making a grandiose statement. Use it. I choose not to respond. Prayers heal. How do I protect my child from becoming like him? Just teach your child empathy and accountability. That's all you can do. You can't make your child become anything. How do I deal with co-parenting with the narcissist tendencies of my avoidant ex? Thank you, Cami, for the gifts. I prefer you donate on my website for your sake, and for my sake, because then I get the whole donation and I don't have to split it 50-50 with TikTok. How do I deal with co-parenting with the narcissist tendencies of my dismissive avoidant ex? You're trying to make him a narcissist and a dismissive avoidant. Don't focus on co-parenting. Just focus on what's healthy for you, which is no contact or minimizing contact to the extent possible. Why do they hang on yet tell you they are going to give another woman an opportunity? That's a unique situation to you. That's not a they thing. That's just a you thing or this person thing that you're experiencing. Uh, it sounds like they're greedy. They want you and the other woman. It's not deeper than that. They hang on to you because they want you and the other woman. It's not deeper. It's not a profound question or a profound answer. How are you answering questions? Only did you teach a lesson today already? Yeah, I already taught the lesson. Accept the universe exactly as it is based on evidence. Do avoidance want you to keep trying with them or to let them go when they go silent? Usually they want you to let them go. That's what they want. But they want what is detrimental to them. So it sounds dumb because, like, well, that's bad, but they want what's detrimental. They also they would love for you to keep trying, but not because they're going to get back with you, just because it's fun to watch you humiliate yourself and it builds up their ego to see you like chase after them. It feels good to them. It will not make them love you more. They will lose respect for you. But they would love it if you did it. It would make them, they get to lose the respect for you and not want you anymore, and then you make them feel good. So go ahead and chase them. They would love that. Any signs to look for in an avoidant when starting today? Again, they're not going to get back with you at all, especially if you chase them. Any signs to look for in an avoidant? No. Lead with your boundaries and your standards. Because some people are avoidant, don't invest fully up front. Invest only a small amount of feelings and emotions. Don't love a person until you get to know what their flaws are. Only after you know they're avoidant can you then say, okay, now I can decide if I love them. Do you recover financially after being Miss Build-A-Bear? How do you recover financially after being Miss Build-A-Bear? The biggest thing is learn the lesson not to invest too much up front. Don't invest too much so soon. Wouldn't it make sense that you would give money to your husband rather than a boyfriend? Would you repeat the laws / title of the previous days you discussed? If I get through these questions, I will. How can you repeat what you said about stopping rumination? Use a propitious question. You say why, state the objective, and then aggrandize the objective. Why am I going to be the most popular, well-loved person in the entire neighborhood, regardless of the fact that they disrespected me? It's making a propitious question. You can literally just look it up. Look it up on my YouTube. Look it up on TikTok. Propitious question, Roman Zanoni. Then you get a full explanation where I spend 5 minutes or 30 minutes telling you how to do it. Normally I'm avoidant, but in my recent relationship, I went from secure to anxious while she was a fearful avoidant. Yeah, that can happen. We move over. It looks like you moved over the whole spectrum there. How do I stop thinking about and missing my narcissistic ex? By doing a devaluation list. Write down on a piece of paper 16 reasons why he doesn't qualify as your forever mate. In your case, he's a narcissist, so you need 16 reasons because you shouldn't think of them positively at all. Missing a narcissist is disgusting because the narcissist is disgusting. We met online. Yes, it makes sense now. Yeah, you got to bridge the distance right away. Okay, when are we meeting in person? Like immediately, you got to have plans. As soon as you start talking, you realize it's going anywhere. First week or two, you got to be like, okay, here's when we're meeting, and you got to have it on the calendar within 90 days, and don't even wait 90 days if you don't have to. How do you heal from being an avoidant? Never do anything in fear, only do everything in love. And enroll in my healing course on my website. And come to my meetings on Monday and Wednesday night and do one-on-one sessions with me. Thank you for today's lesson. What you do really helps. Thank you. I know it helps. but I appreciate your validation. Who is an avoidant person? An avoidant person is someone who up front seems like they're going to be a good partner to you, and then once they start getting intimate or really close to you, they suddenly ghost, leave, or discard you, and they don't really seem to have a good reason for it, because the reason is just that their feelings are triggered because they're an unhealed trauma survivor. That's an avoidant. I appreciate your perspective, Frank, just what I needed. Just call me Frank. But still want her. Focus on does she qualify, not how do I feel about her. Earlier you said the avoidant will come back, but you never know when. Now you say that they don't. I didn't say they don't come back. If you chase them, they might not. They probably won't come back. But yeah, avoidants come back, but you don't know when, so what's the point? How are avoidants formed? Because they have abusive, narcissistic parents, or they grow up in an environment where a parent engulfed them too much, was too controlling, or was abusive, and so the way that they learn to survive is to value independence and freedom over all other, and that connection is unsafe and that love is unsafe because of how terrible their parents were. Do you have any groups for social works who are therapists? Any groups for social works who are therapists? I don't quite understand what you mean, but I do have group sessions. We're going to do a group session every day for the next 6 days at 12. I have group sessions at 7 and 7 Central, 8 Eastern on Mondays and Wednesday nights. And I have specialists on my website that you can get therapy from. Are you going to go live after those 12 lives? No, that's it. You'll never see me again. How to differentiate avoidant from narcs? Because avoidants have empathy and will take accountability sometimes. What about he said, I need to think, so I don't want to be an option, and I deleted him? Well, now it sounds like you enforced your boundary. What about it? A mutual friend introduced us. He told friend that we weren't that serious. So hurtful. Use it as information, not as like judgment. Like, oh, I can't believe he said this about us. Like, just look at it as, okay, now I understand how he feels. That simple. We went no contact, and then get rid of him. Let him go. He said you're not serious, so he shouldn't have any problem with you leaving him. We went no contact after she discarded me for a couple days. Then I called and she answered, but we haven't spoken since. It's almost been a month. Yeah, it sounds like you're really caught up on this girl, but you're forgetting that she doesn't qualify to be in an actual relationship with you. You're looking for your wife, your forever mate. She doesn't qualify as your wife. How can she be your wife when she discards you? That's the opposite of what a wife would do. You can't discard your husband. I'm supposed to be your husband, right? You need to regard me, right? And so you need to be regarded. So you do that by finding a woman that regards you rather than a wife that's a woman that's discarding you. So you don't need to turn off your love for her, but you need to intellectually move forward in your path of finding the right person, a person who's going to meet you where you are. She doesn't qualify, and you're worried about the time that's passing by with this girl. Move forward. What to do when I don't want to reciprocate the same energy of the avoidant, but want to help or inspire? That doesn't make any sense to me. What does helping and inspiring have to do with the energy of the avoidant? Nothing. So maybe you're just trying to say, what do I do if I don't want to reciprocate the same energy of the avoidant? You have to reciprocate energy, because if you were to go into the opposite energy, they can accuse you of stalking. So if they avoid you and you say, no, I'm going to chase you, then they'll say, you're stalking me. And that's illegal. And then you have a legal case on your hands. You have to reciprocate the energy. You're avoiding me? Okay, then I'll let you go. It's not like don't look at it as a petty reciprocation. It's like, it's a respect thing. Like, okay, you don't want to be with me? I'll let you go. How will avoidant want to heal? And let me see that second part of you want to help and inspire. You can't help a person who's running away from you. Their back is turned to you and they're running the other direction, ma'am. Help people who are coming towards you and who sit down at your feet and want to learn from you. Help them. Don't help someone who doesn't want to be helped. How will avoidant want to heal when the internet paint them as disgusting people? They have shame, ... Thank you for repeating that talking point, Strawberry Gun. Now, if you have something valuable that you'd like to ask about or add to the conversation that's going to be helpful, let us know. Thoughts on sharing a living space while getting on your feet? Well, it depends. Is it a narcissist you're dealing with or something else? If it's a narcissist, go no contact. A gray rock the person. How to walk permanently in my true identity and not trauma identity. Well, you have to know how to identify your true identity, which is basically what you choose, and it's your values. That's what makes your identity. Walk permanently in your true identity. You can take the word permanently off and just every day make the choice to move towards your goals and your purpose according to you. And what keeps you permanent is being willing to disappoint others. Just go ahead and disappoint them, and you'll be walking in your true identity. Mine discarded me over having health boundary in my own house. Thinking emoji. Boundaries cause people to reject you. That's a good thing. That's the point of the boundary, to get rid of the people that don't qualify. Good. So other than accepting the reality, how do you cope with the pain of their absence? By doing a devaluation list. And by coming to these meetings, and by healing, and by having something to show, by pouring your grief into a project, so you have something to show for the time that passes. How do you know about avoidance so much? 3 of my exes are avoidance. I have extensive experience with these interesting individuals, not to mention 50% of my clients are avoidance. I wanted to know when he said, I need to think, when I ask him wants, what does it mean from a man? I wanted to know when he said, I need to think. When I asked him what he wants, was it? Now you're asking me what he means, but you already blocked him. You already deleted him. Did you delete him prematurely, ma'am? Should you have maybe asked him, what do you mean by that? Did you block him emotionally instead of blocking him according to your actual standards? Ma'am, I'm looking at you. Did you block him prematurely and emotionally? Don't do that. Move forward according to standards. Don't just be rude and mean and then come over here and be like, yeah, so what did he mean by that? You have to ask him what he meant by that. Wanting to help someone that doesn't want to help sounds more like control. It is, yeah. But it's not coming from a bad place. It comes from a good place. A lot of us want to help people. I want to help people that don't want help. I can't help them, but I want to. Man, do I want to. All my avoidant exes, I would love to help them. I would love to help them. But I can't because they don't want the help. Yeah, you did understand the logic of my question. Didn't understand the logic of my question. Maybe that's what you're trying to say. The logic of your question, the way you stated your question was like you're just stating a problem. How can they heal if everyone demonizes them? So you want me to answer that, to take the question literally and answer it literally? How can they heal when other people demonize them? By not worrying about what people on the internet are saying about them and moving forward in healing. That's like, it's so unrelated. It's like, how do I ride my bike when other people have cars? By not worrying about what other people are driving and just riding my bike. There's nothing on the internet that people are saying about an avoidant that stops them from coming to my class, coming to this safe space here and healing. There's nothing stopping them. So that's why I didn't take your question literally, because I wouldn't think you were literally asking how to ride a bike when other people have cars. It's okay to leave people alone. What does gray rock mean? Gray rock means you shut off access to your emotions from the person. What's Law 6? I'm late. Always accept the universe exactly as it is based on evidence. I wanted to know when he said, I need to think about what does it mean? What does it mean when a man says that? Go ask him. You shouldn't have deleted him. You should have asked him what he meant, or taken time to pause before you acted. I don't see myself in a relationship, but I couldn't let go even when I tried. He wouldn't let me. I think I can say he's an avoidant. There's a lot wrong with that statement. I can't even, it's just a statement, so I'm just going to let it go, but just let me know if you have a question. Hi, can you please go into more detail about pouring yourself into a project? Yes, you pick a purpose, which is a goal, and then a project, something you're going to work on towards your goal, and then you focus on that. That's what you're supposed to be doing right now, not laying in bed dreaming about a person that ran away from you. Project. I'm going to remodel my guest bedroom into an art studio because my purpose is to be an artist. Project. What is your project? What are you working on? Building a business, building a social media profile. That's a great project to work on. Did dealing with the avoidant partner change you in any way? No, absolutely not. It made me smarter for the better. Yeah, it made me smarter and more empathetic to people who go through that, and more empathy. Yeah, actually, yes. I'm so sorry. Yes. This is all designed because my partner that I was in love with turned out to be avoidant. She had CPTSD, and then she became avoidant. We were together for a year, and then she discarded and ghosted. She refuses to. I mean, I haven't tried in years now, but for that first couple of months, she just like refused to speak to me, and I found that so painful, but also curious. What is this all about? And then that's how I got very interested and became an expert in CPTSD. So dealing with them changed me for the better. Yeah, because that's how you stay from being traumatized. You get changed for the better instead of change for the worse. The traumatized way of dealing with it is, no, I'm not going to trust women anymore. Don't do that. That's third grade level processing. Like, get into, okay, I'm going to take this pain, this grief that I have over losing this person and pour it into a project. So to answer the other person's question, that was an example. So I had that grief from being left by this person that I thought we were going to get married. I thought everything was going to be great. We were together for this year, blah, blah, blah. She was my everything. And then she just disappears. And she designed in her mind some excuse as to why I'm a bad person, right? So what do? I take that pain and I got to channel it into a project. So I start mind, trauma recovery, coaching and therapy. I become an expert in this. I start working with clients that are just like her in their personality profile. I start healing them, healing them, healing them. What am I doing? I'm taking the pain and pouring it and channeling it into something productive. I can't help her. I can't heal her as much as I want to. That's all I want to do. What's the next best thing? Heal others who are coming to me, who are willing, who are ready. Maybe one day I'll be able to heal her. And that was always the thought. But focus on the people who want to be healed. And that's how you get changed for the better and pour that pain into a project. So now I'm looking back. She never came back. Or so far she hasn't, right? It's been 4 to 5 years. So about, we'll say 5 years. So I look back, the time has passed. What do I want to say? Do I want to say, oh, it's been 5 years and I lost everything. I lost my job. I lost my health. I got skinny. Oh, I couldn't do anything because I missed her. No, that's not going to attract her back, and it's not going to attract anybody else either. So move on, move forward, grow, gym, right? Grow, 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 grow. Work on yourself, improve everything, right? But I pour that pain into the project, into the purpose. Now I look back, what do I have to show for it? I have a lot to show for it, right? This whole social media account, right? It didn't exist 4 years ago, 5 years ago. It wasn't here. Now I have whatever amount of 100,000 followers. Yay! I have something to show for it. You understand? Something to show for it. My clients, my social media, my business, my favorite car that I always wanted to get. How can they want to heal? How can they want to heal? The way you're phrasing your questions are just unanswerable. How can someone want to heal? That's an unanswerable, like the way you're phrasing it's unanswerable. Wants are a choice, so a person can choose to heal. If they want to heal, they can choose to heal. I blocked an abusive sister, but she's trying to make me look weird by saying I don't appreciate family. That has nothing to do with anything. Who cares what she's trying to do? Who cares if she went and started a carnival in Geneva? What does that have to do with it? With you blocking her? I blocked her. Okay. She's trying to make me look bad. So block the other people she's trying to make you look bad too. You understand? If you think mom believes her, block your mom. If you think your dad believes her, block them too. Eventually, they either get their life together or you run out of people to block and you're good. Don't worry about it. It's toxic to be worried about the smear campaign against you and to be absorbed in it. I understand what it's like. Trust me. Believe me, I know smear campaigns. Believe me, I know smear campaigns. I got some bad smear campaigns out there. But I just blocked them all mentally. I don't talk to them. I've a GF. That's avoidant. I can't show her material because her shame is so bad she can't read about it. Okay, thank you for articulating that. This is a safe space for her, so she can come here, or you can enroll her in my healing course on my website, or you can show her my TikToks. And I'm not shaming her, and the majority of the people in my comments are not shaming her either. It's a part of the process of healing. Yep. 50% of my clients are avoidant, but we're not going to coddle her either. As you can see, I'm not a coddler. She's got to face some realities over here, and she has to heal. She has to heal. She's a trauma survivor. She has to heal. I know you're protecting her. I understand where you're coming from. Thank you for explaining. But she does need to hear the truth. She can handle the truth. You can sit right next to her while she's in class, right? And make sure she's protected, but she can handle it. She's gotta learn how to stop overthinking, worrying, and rumination. Propitious questions. Ask yourself a propitious question and use the JOT method. Overthinking, worrying, and rumination, all that is just negative thinking. Fixating your mind on negativity. That's all it is. So get some positivity going. Drop the question in your inbox. Please check it when you have a moment. I'll do what I can. Become a subscriber, then I feel more motivated to get to your stuff. If it's just a question, like sometimes people write me paragraphs. If you're not a subscriber, then how can I dedicate time to everyone's paragraphs, right? So lock in with me, I can lock in with you, right? I know the app is free, but I'm not free. Like I give some free services, but I wouldn't be able to survive if you don't ever pay anything. The narcissist is trying to bring me down, but is not succeeding or donate. And I think he's bothered by it, lol. I think he's bothered by it too. But don't worry so much about how the narcissist feels. Someone remind me law number 5. Ooh, I don't have it in front of me right now. It was what we talked about yesterday. Oh, I'm blanking because I got so many. I'm trying to answer these questions. I deleted him emotionally. He didn't give me an answer, but he was talking normally with slow reply. Do favors all the time. There's no answer to your question. Like, there's no general answer to your question. Like, what does a man mean when he says this? You have to find out what he means by it. He might mean something different than what I would mean. It's not a general, all men mean this when they all say that. That's not how that phrase works. Do favors all the time for boyfriend. He does things for me, but when I ask for something, it's absolutely no AV. No AV. Availability. I'm not sure what AV stands for. Holly, you need to analyze, does this meet my standards? Is this what I want out of a relationship? Some women like that. They like men that don't do anything for them. Do you like that? That's what you got to decide. Do you believe some are avoidance due to juggling a long roster? No, being an avoidant doesn't have anything to do with cheating. It's childhood trauma. Can being in a narcissistic relationship covert create CPTSD? Of course. Yes. Or PTSD? Yes. Can a culture around avoidance that makes them feel even more ashamed than what they are? There's a culture around it. Yeah, stop repeating that talking point. Stop. Who cares about the culture around avoidance that makes them feel ashamed? They need to focus on finding safe spaces and they need to heal. They are hurting people. Yeah, I understand there's a culture around that. Yeah, we get it. You can stop repeating that. We get it. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I know. I see it. Nevertheless, she does need to heal and she needs to enroll in the classes and come and do the work. Why are you here and she's not here? If she's the avoidant and she needs to heal, why isn't she here? So they don't want to read or watch videos about it. Sounds like avoidant behavior. And you're excusing it. You're enabling. Get her here. Get her here. Do the videos way behind the chat so when you read what I write, it's out of context. LMAO. Yeah, you gotta wait. I'm behind. I'm not reading in real time. I'm reading there's lots of people commenting, so I have to go through one at a time. I can't answer as fast as you're commenting all the time. What's your favorite car? I won't answer that right now. But I got my dream car and I liked it. I agree they are not pouring into your best self. How to block someone mentally. Every time you think about them, think about something else. My avoidant mom had a lot to do with discard. Now I don't know what a healthy MIL relationship looks like. Don't worry about knowing what a healthy MIL relationship looks like. Worry about your standards. Write on a piece of paper what you want out of an MIL relationship. And then enforce your boundaries, your standards. Can you explain to us how even Jesus had boundaries? Jesus had standards for who could be around him and who couldn't. And if somebody was a hypocrite, then he would tell them to get lost. When Peter said something that violated his boundaries, he told Peter, "Get behind me, Satan." That's an example of setting boundaries. He and the woman he cheated on me with smeared my name to everyone. I understand how much that can be hurtful, but don't focus on the smear campaign. Focus on your purpose and cut off everyone who may be affected by the smear campaign, including the slanderers. Not to glaze, but one-on-one sessions with Roman are awesome. He's helped change my life. I agree. One-on-one sessions with me are very, very helpful. Very helpful. I want to lock in with you, Roman. Thank you. Lock in. Do the one-on-one sessions. Enroll in Healing School. At least subscribe to YouTube. It's like $3. I mean, the TikTok. I got a TikTok subscriber. Lock in. Let's go. Support me so I can support you. Do you do one-on-ones? How to contact you? I do one-on-ones. Go to my website and book the session right off the bat. Otherwise, you can send me a DM, and I'm just going to tell you to go to my website and book the session. So just go to the website, book the session. Website link is in the bio. Focus on what you have and your blessings. Very good, very good. Hi, Roman. Avoidant question mark. Hi, everyone. Savior complex. How do you feel from deep shame from multiple traumatic? How do you heal from deep shame from multiple traumatic experiences? You need to repudiate shame. Shame is not a acceptable state of mind or emotion. After he moved back across the pond, I go to, you need to learn about how I teach about self-worth. Who is this person? Rhoda. So type in my name, self-worth, in a search bar somewhere and pull up my information. Help you with your shame. How do you let go of shame and procrastination? Procrastination comes from perfectionism a lot of times. So you need to stop with being a perfectionist and move into the rule of 85%, which you can learn about in my book, Mind by Roman Zanoni on Amazon. And you need to let go of shame because shame in general is just unacceptable. So just like certain things to you are unacceptable, like urinating outside in public, unacceptable. So you don't do it. So don't do shame either. When I bring things up to my dismissive avoidant partner, he is resistant at first, but he appreciates me being honest. Yeah, they're solid people. Well, maybe solid's not a good word for them. They're good-hearted people. There's potential for them. How will I ever be healed from my lifetime of abuse? By locking in and doing what you just said you were going to do, which is come to all my meetings and doing your one-on-one session and not stopping until you're healed. I'm in a tricky sit with my teens. Don't want me to take back avoidant their father after 25 years and many lefts. Well, I'm going to try to decipher. Don't let shame and guilt own you. I'm going to try to decipher what you said. Your teens don't want you to take back avoidant. Why is that a tricky situation? I don't get it. You shouldn't take back your avoidant and your teens don't want you to. So why is that tricky? I don't get it. Don't take back your avoidant. Move on with your life. Do avoidants have problems with self-reflection? Yes. After he moved back to the US, he has stopped contacting, then he ghosted after the last message. Sounds like an avoidant. Sorry. How do we get one-on-one sessions if we're living in another country? My credit card not being accepted. Is PayPal accepted in your country? We have to find a way. We have to find a payment method that works. What type of international payment do you have in your country, Abby? Why don't you send me a direct message so we can get it worked out? All right, guys. So that concludes our day. I got to all the questions. That concludes our day 6, I believe we're on. I'm going to read through the laws that we've covered so far. Law number 1, always detach from what is toxic. Law number 1, always detach from what is toxic. Law number 2, never think or act in fear, always do so in love. Law number 2, never think and act in fear, always do so in love. Law number 3, never become consumed with other people's thoughts, feelings, and actions. Law number 3, never become consumed with other people's thoughts, feelings, and actions. Law number 4, always focus on and do what is beneficial for yourself and others. Law number 4, always focus on and do what is beneficial for yourself and others. Law number 5, always focus on your gifts and your blessings. Law number 5, always focus on your gifts and your blessings. And today we did law number 6, always accept the universe exactly as it is.